Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to our TGIF Talks, episode 18. I don't freaking know. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by co-host Anonymous Phil. Alright, let's roll the intro. One of these, not like the other. Did your brother decide what you want to do tonight?
No, I just want to join.
Ah. Okay then. Loser.
Yeah.
Are you going to your parents tomorrow then?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. What
I thought about it. And then I was like, when he didn't want to join, I was like, well, I could have just picked him up and then brought him here.
Right.
And then I was like, well, considering we also need to start at 7, I was kind of crunched for time. And I finally decided to leave my home.
Mm.
And then I was like, no, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Well, how are you?
Doing all right.
What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? Work some more.
Nothing interesting about work ever?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I suppose there's something interesting that happens every day, but...
It bleeds into the background of life and...
Yeah.
You forget it exists?
No, it's just a lot of the interesting stuff that if I were to share would... There's a lot of backstory. Just because I've never shared anything, it's just...
Oh.
There's so much backstory that,
You need to start sharing, so then we have this foundational experience.
I see.
Just start like, so back when I first started, we used to do this thing, and then, this thing happened like 8 times, and now you understand the whole, it's like you just got to write The Hobbit, right? You just got to get The Hobbit out of the way so you can then understand Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, yes.
There you go. Is that the problem? You have a whole Hobbit to read, whole freaking book.
A whole Hobbit to read aloud, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
8 novels worth of just jargon so you can get to the actual meat and potatoes of the story.
Which is only like 3 novels.
Currently.
Well, I mean, the guy's dead.
I'm only 6 months in.
Oh, you're talking about yourself. Oh, I thought you were talking about... I thought you were... I thought you were talking Lord of the Rings. I was like, I don't remember The Hobbit being 8 novels. I thought it was like
I'm saying I have like 8 novels of jargon to go over before you get to the actual meat and potatoes.
Ah, okay. Now it's...
I don't know if it's... Maybe a novel.
A novel?
A short story.
A short story, that's... Well, I mean, it's like 5,000 words.
A short story, wherever your little short story.
Oh, no, I gave it to my mentor. He's reading it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He gave me some... He was just like... He said he found it... Well, I can just quote him. What did he say exactly?
What did he say?
Because you haven't read the actual, first part of it.
No, you read a portion of it.
Right.
That sounded good.
So, basically, he says it's kind of hard to read, lots of stuff coming at you all at once. Now, Friday morning, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, had to pee, and then couldn't go back to sleep. So then from 3 to 4:30, I just sat there on my iPad reading and editing the thing, because I was like, well, I want to see what he's talking about. And I was reading through the conversation that Brad and Carlos have about FTL travel.
Okay.
And when I was reading it, I realized I wrote it I wrote it as if they were 2 people who knew about this stuff and were just talking to each other about it.
Oh, so you're just basically... It's like someone walking in and hearing the middle of a conversation.
Well, no, it's like you understand what FTL means.
Yeah, faster than light.
Right. Most people don't know what that means. Even though Brad does say fast and light travel, he doesn't say the acronym FTL next to that at any point.
Yeah.
He just says FTL later in the conversation.
That is kind of the rule that I was told in writing. I don't remember what it was. I think it was in middle school. that whenever you want to use an acronym that isn't like a well-known acronym, like for example, like say a state name or something, you know,
right?
You have to use it at least. You have to use it once before you use that acronym again, and typically people use it side by side. Let's see, like Nebraska, NE, and then the next time you want to reference it, you can just say NE, because you've already referenced it before.
Right. Well, yeah. So I wrote it, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, of course. I was like, well, duh. I mentioned faster than light travel, but didn't say FTL, and that was like 2 or 3 paragraphs ago.
So when you first refer to faster than light, to say FTL, just say faster than light, commonly referred to as FTL.
Yeah, and there were some other parts in there, and I'm also going through the conversation. It's just like I can see how it would be a lot if you don't know anything at all about relativity or traveling faster than light. Because like I give a pretty okay explanation. You know, I had to simplify a lot of things because, you know, I didn't want it to just be, because it's already like several paragraphs of Brad just doing a monologue about how what irritates him about how movies do FTL and movies and comics or whatever. And if you don't know that much about that, or you don't have a background, or you're not nerds like us, it's probably a lot. Yeah. You're probably just like, whoa, okay, I don't know what, okay. You got to have a understanding of relativity to understand, like, wait, why does going the speed of light cause time to slow down relative to you? You know?
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. And then everyone else...
time would stop at
yep.
light speed.
And,
0.
Right. And also, you know, and then also Brad talks about... but I give examples later on, kind of like, you know, think about it. Okay, if I flew to Alpha Centauri, right? Let's say we're going like 99% speed light. It's still going to take me 4 damn years to get there. It's going to feel like 4... It's only going to feel like you'd have to do the math for so long for me. But for everyone else, it still took me 4 years to get there. And then for me to get back, I've been gone for 8 years. So now let's imagine you wanted to go to the edge of the universe. Thank God time dilation is going to help you, and you're going to be able to get there, you know, faster than, you know, what was the first, it was, I actually went and Googled what galaxy we knew in 2017 was the furthest from Earth. Because I couldn't say the latest one, because, well, that's the story's set in 2017, not 2024.
Yeah.
And basically that who's going to be first is going to get replaced constantly now.
There's another way you could do that. How do I escape? I wonder if this would work. And then we went to more time. And we went to 2017. Is this what you got?
No.
This is all stories published before before that date.
It's NGZ11.
NGZ11?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, because see, all these articles are things that came out before. So
NGZ11. They're GNZ11. Sorry, my bad.
Oh yeah, by NASA, 2016. So what is this one by Space Doc? Oh, is this? When did this come out? 2012.
I was gonna say, I think that's an old record. I think that's an old record
13.3 light years, so what? Billion light years. And what was NGZ11? 13.4. Okay.
Yeah, but this was pretty. GNZ11 was pretty. Was kind of cutting edge for 2017.
Yeah.
When yeah.
But yeah, that is another way you could go. Like if you have that issue again, because for example, there was one day I looked up COVID. but I wanted to know all articles before 2019. Because I was curious, what like if like let's just say you looked up what is COVID before it was ever a thing. Disease control, because it was a thing. Coronavirus was a thing.
Yeah, the coronavirus.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
There was a COVID-19 article published in 2010.
I wonder if I bet you this isn't like the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing
it doesn't completely work.
So you're not seeing you're seeing what articles would have shown up, but you're not seeing those articles as they were
published back then. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So what you could do is you go to news, because this should work like that. Because these, like anything, like a Nature article that was published, this is what that would have looked like.
Yeah.
Like a paper or something that was published. But the websites, you're not seeing the website as it was. Mm-hmm. Like for example, like say some YouTube video was published before then, you would not see YouTube as it looked in from 2017. No, you wouldn't. And actually, it's kind of cool because there are YouTube videos that, they show you like the history of YouTube.
I've seen them.
It's always, you get some nostalgia feel from that.
Well, anyway, so back to the writing thing. As I read it, I was like, there are some details that are just like, but at the same time, I think you just have to. It just has to be that way, because I'm trying to think if there's any science fiction I've listened to recently that would go over your head. Contact. When Carl Sagan's talking about her inventing that coming up, she like came up with a compound or whatever, or somehow invented a way to make a more sensitive radio telescope. It's at the very beginning of the book. You might not remember. It's been a few years since you listened to it. No. That's all just... It's like, you're just like, sure, okay. You don't... It might be... That might actually be how they do it. You don't really know.
Yeah.
And, they explain... There's... the only thing I can think of right now is in Jurassic Park, but Jurassic Park it's all biology, and it's mostly about animal behavior, so it's nothing like, it's animal behavior, it's if this then that statement, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's just, so it's pretty logical and easy to find. It's not like, it says this weird word, and you're like, what the hell is that word?
Yeah.
So, The Martian.
The Martian?
The Martian's a great example.
Of what?
Of just, you just have to, he's talking, because like at the beginning, he's just throwing details at you about how his suit clogged and how the system works.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're not into sci-fi, you're going to be like, what?
Mm.
You're not probably used to like, just details being thrown at you like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I would say if you don't know a lot about space or Mars exploration or really anything at all, just like basic average knowledge of what most people know, which is probably wrong, and you start listening to the Martian,
you feel like you get overwhelmed with details.
You would get overwhelmed very fast. You're like, "Whoa, I didn't know this about Mars. What is what?"
Yes.
So. And I think at some point you just have to be like, you're just not the audience for the book. But that's only like it's only this section, and like the beginning of this section. By the end, it's just a story.
Mm-hmm.
This next part I'm gonna make. It's not science heavy at all.
Mm-hmm.
The second I finished writing the first section. I'm gonna go back through it again and read it because I only got like halfway. Before I was like, all right, I'm.
But I feel
tired.
like that's just kind of sci-fi in general because sci-fi caters to a specific audience
Mm-hmm.
who are very interested in, say, STEM fields.
Right.
And typically people in STEM fields, at least from what I come across, they're the type of people that they don't like to take things at face value. They like to truly understand how they work, all the intricacies. And so they appreciate all the details that are thrown in about how something actually works, rather than just saying, oh yeah, it does this. But they talk about, what is it that makes it special? How does it actually do that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so the author puts in all the extra work for the details, because typically the audience member who is interested in that sort of thing, in the sort of topic, would also appreciate the details that they're throwing at them.
Well, maybe 43 minutes. You won't be able to get through it. You'll be able to probably get through at least close to half of what I've written. I could make sure the iPad gets charged up and you can read it on our way out there.
Yeah.
Although the iPad is currently here, almost dead.
Oh.
It's being I'm using its charger to charge the C-Star, but
You only have one charger?
it's super fast brick
Oh.
that works well with the iPad. Luckily, I do have it's in my tech bag.
I've always wondered, though, so you use that for the C-Star as well?
Yeah.